Okay, so you know how sometimes there's like an anime that just really like gets under your skin in a good
Oh,
way?
yeah, absolutely.
Like one that's just kind of wondrously chaotic, but like so much fun that it just sticks with you
Yeah, yeah, totally.
way after you've actually seen it.
I know exactly what you mean.
And for a ton of people, that is Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt.
Definitely a cult classic.
And get this, it's actually making a comeback
It is.
after 14 years.
Wow.
Since the first season aired way back in 2010.
2010. Yeah, that's a long time for fans to be waiting.
I know, it's like an eternity in anime years, right?
It really is. And it's a testament to that show's like enduring appeal.
For sure.
To have that dedicated of a following, that like a revival of this magnitude even happens
Yeah,
after so long, it's pretty remarkable.
totally.
Now, for anyone who hasn't experienced let's call it the unique charm of Panty and Stocking, let me paint a picture.
Okay.
The Anarchy Sisters, Panty and Stocking. Yes, they've been kicked out of heaven.
For good reason.
Yeah, for some decidedly unholy behavior.
I was going to say unholy is putting it mildly.
Yeah, they really redefine the term troublemakers,
For sure.
but their ticket back to paradise,
Right.
it involves battling these ghosts
Yeah.
in this really bizarre place called Dayton City.
Dayton City. I love that name.
Yeah. And the irony is that they're like technically fighting against evil,
They are.
but their own antics always just unleash a whole other wave of pandemonium.
Oh, for sure. They're always creating more trouble than they're solving, right?
Exactly. And that's part of the fun.
So you sent us a truly fascinating collection of articles about this.
I did.
And our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear.
Lay it on me.
Let's unpack every single thing we know so far
Right.
about this upcoming season.
I'm ready.
Now officially titled New Panty and Stocking.
New Panty and Stocking, it really rolls off the tongue.
It does.
And speaking of the new season, the genesis of this revival
Okay.
is a story in itself.
It is.
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting, actually.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
It's all intertwined with this renowned animation studio called Studio Trigger.
Okay, so Studio Trigger, that's the studio resurrecting the series.
It is.
And I feel like that's a name that like resonates with a lot of anime fans.
Yeah, big time.
Can you give us a little backstory?
Yeah.
Like, what's their connection to the original Panty and Stocking?
Okay, so the connection's actually pretty significant.
Okay.
Studio Trigger was started by this guy, Hiroyuki Imaishi,
Okay.
and he was a huge creative force over at Gainax.
Oh, wow.
And Gainax, that's the studio that gave us the first season of Panty and Stocking.
Oh, wow. So it's like coming full circle.
Exactly. And the renewal was revealed at Studio Trigger's 10th anniversary celebration
Oh, wow.
at Anime Expo 2023.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a really electric moment for the fan base.
I can only imagine,
Right.
like 14 years of waiting. Like,
I know, right?
that payoff must have been incredible.
And the announcement itself was very on brand.
Oh.
Middle fingers and a bunch of high octane action sequences.
Of course, like how else would they announce it?
Right. Like it was this bold statement, Panty and Stocking, just letting the world know we are back.
Yeah.
And they did not disappoint.
So the message was loud and clear.
It was.
The bitches are back.
Yeah.
And quite literally, if we're talking about that key visual
Huh?
that dropped on July 4th, 2024.
Independence Day.
How fitting!
There.
That image of them just like kicking back with their buddies in a driveway
Oh, yeah.
just screams that same like irreverent energy.
It does. It really captures the spirit.
Totally.
And along with that visual,
Mm-hmm.
they officially confirmed the new title,
Okay.
New Panty and Stocking.
I love it.
Yeah. And they even released the official logo.
Sweet.
And that new in the title,
Yeah,
it really hints at a continuation,
it does.
but with maybe some fresh perspectives,
Right.
which is really intriguing.
It is, especially given the nature of the original material.
For sure.
Which brings us to the production timeline.
Okay.
Now, this wasn't some like spur of the moment decision, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Like they were clearly working on this for a while.
Yeah, they were laying the groundwork for
Right.
quite some time.
So how long are we talking here?
Well, Studio Trigger revealed that production actually started
Okay.
about 2 years before the article was published.
So around 2023 then.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the time they were making these announcements, they were already significantly invested.
Very much so.
Maybe even close to wrapping up the animation.
That's possible.
That's a lot of lead time.
It is.
But the articles also kind of shed some light on
They do.
like the long journey to even get to that point, like
Mhm.
just acquiring the rights from Gainax.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole saga in
That
itself.
sounds like it.
It took Studio Trigger 12 years.
12 years.
12 years to get the rights.
Wow.
And considering Panty and Stocking was a Gainax original,
Right.
this was essential, but a lengthy hurdle.
For sure. And Gainax itself has had its own well-documented difficulties.
It has. And that probably complicated things further.
Oh, I bet.
So the fact that Studio Trigger stuck with this
Yeah.
for over a decade,
Wow.
just to bring this revival to life,
That's dedication.
I think it speaks volumes
It really does.
about their dedication to this property.
Definitely a passion project.
Seems like it.
Now let's get into the source material a bit.
Right.
The first season was based on a manga
That's right.
written by Tagro.
Tagro.
What's the story there?
Well, manga, it ran for about a year.
Oh, right.
From August 2010 to June 2011.
About a year, yeah.
And it was later compiled into a single volume.
Got it.
And here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The first season of the anime adapted all of it.
Wait, seriously?
All of it. The entire manga.
So if the first season covered the whole manga,
Yeah.
where does that leave New Panty and Stocking?
Good question.
Are we in like completely uncharted territory here?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
The articles say that the new season
Mm-hmm.
will be partially anime original,
Okay.
meaning they're going to be drawing on some fresh ideas.
So new stuff from the production staff.
Right, exactly.
That's pretty exciting.
It is. It opens up so many
We
possibilities.
did it like, are we going to get new characters, new
Yeah.
storylines, potentially? Like, what crazy places are they going to go?
Potentially.
Hmm?
What crazy places are they going to go?
Who knows? The sky's the limit.
That's awesome.
Now, speaking of new stuff,
Yeah.
Hiroyuki Yamashi, remember him?
Oh, yeah, the Studio Trigger founder.
The man himself. He's actually revisited the world of Panty and Stocking
Oh, really?
with some new artwork.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And it was featured in some pretty big anime publications,
like
New Type and later in Monthly Anime Style magazine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so those are like major platforms for creators to share their vision.
Right.
Now, this new artwork isn't necessarily like a direct continuation of the manga storyline,
Right.
but it does suggest that like Imashi's creative vision
For these characters
yeah,
and for the world
uh-huh.
could have a pretty big impact
That makes sense.
on the new season.
For sure, like both the narrative and the visuals.
Exactly. And it's a way of like honoring the original creator's intent while also bringing in something new.
Right, kind of like breathing fresh life into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
And then there's that statement that the team made
Oh, yeah.
about the possibility of like 10 seasons
10 seasons.
and a movie.
And a movie.
Talk about ambitious.
That's wild.
Right.
I mean, it's incredibly optimistic.
It is.
Do you think they actually have like a long-term plan for that?
It's hard to say.
Or is it more just like general enthusiasm for the property?
It's probably a bit of both.
Okay.
It definitely suggests that they're not just doing like a one-off nostalgic thing.
Right.
They seem to be thinking bigger,
Long-term vision.
for sure.
Okay, now let's talk about the people bringing this to life. We know they've announced some key staff members, but what about the voices?
Ah, yes, the voices.
Like the iconic voices
Right.
that we all know and love. What's the word on that?
Well, that's one of the biggest mysteries right now.
Really?
Yeah, they've confirmed the production staff,
Okay.
but no details on the voice cast yet.
So we don't know if the original Japanese voice actors are coming back?
That's right. It's still up in the air.
That's a bummer.
I know those original voices are so important to the fans.
I mean, they're so integral to those characters.
Yeah, their performances were just spot on.
Do you think if they don't come back,
Yeah.
could that affect how people receive the new season,
Potentially.
even if everything else is great?
It's possible. You know, those voices are so connected to Panty and Stocking's personalities.
Right.
New voice actors could do a great job.
They could.
But there's just something about the original cast.
Yeah, that nostalgia factor.
Exactly.
And just that established feel.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed they come back.
I'm with you on that.
So let's talk plot. The first season was wild.
It was a roller coaster.
Where did things even end up?
Oh, man. The finale was unforgettable.
It was.
Panty lost her powers.
Oh, no.
Got kicked out by Garterbelt.
Ouch.
Tried to stop Brief from opening Hell's Gate.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't work.
Of course not.
This massive ghost appeared.
Uh-oh.
Garterbelt died temporarily.
Died temporarily.
Yeah, you know how it is?
I guess so.
The sisters used his credit card to buy weapons.
Oh, they did not.
Oh, they did.
Classic.
Then their mother showed up,
What?
destroyed the ghost,
Okay.
and then kicked them out again.
Oh, why?
for credit card fraud.
Of course.
But then they made their way back to Dayton City.
They did.
Yeah, and reunited with a now not dead Garterbelt.
So they're back together.
All's well that ends well, right?
It's as happy an ending as you can get with those two.
Exactly, a perfect chaotic ending.
So based on all that,
yeah,
what kind of story do you think we'll see in New Panty and Stocking?
Well, I think it's safe to say we'll see more of their hilarious misadventures in Dayton City.
Makes sense.
They'll probably still be trying to get back into heaven by fighting ghosts.
You know the drill.
But they'll definitely be causing chaos along the way.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
And probably getting into even more trouble.
More heavenly demerits.
Exactly. But you know that dynamic between Panty, Stocking, and Garterbelt?
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes this show so funny.
It is.
So I'd be surprised if that changed.
Right, but since they are doing original content now...
That's true.
Things could get really interesting.
Couldn't they?
Like maybe we'll learn more about their backstory.
Maybe.
Or see some character development.
Oh, that would be a twist.
I know, right?
Like who knew Panty and Stocking had hidden depths?
Right. It's exciting to think about.
It is.
So basically, more ghosts, more transformations, more ethically flexible behavior.
More of everything we love.
Exactly.
More is always more.
Okay, last but not least, when can we actually see this?
The $1 million question.
Right. Give us the release window.
All right, so the official release window for New Panty and Stocking is 2025.
2025, we're almost there.
We are, but we don't have an exact date yet.
Okay.
But they did say that they're in the final stages of animation.
Ooh, so close.
So we might actually see it early 2025.
You
know, depending on post-production and all that.
Makes sense.
But after all this waiting.
All this time.
Finish line's in sight.
I can't believe it's finally happening.
It's really happening.
It's pretty amazing that they've come this far.
I know, right?
To bring this back.
It really speaks to their commitment.
For sure.
To the project.
So to recap for everyone.
Okay.
Panty and Stocking is back.
Back in action.
In 2025.
Woot woot. Thanks to Studio Trigger.
Big shout out to Studio Trigger.
It's going to be called New Panty and Stocking.
Love the new title.
And we're expecting a mix of the old and the new.
The best of both worlds.
Which is super exciting.
It is. Especially because that original manga is done.
All wrapped up.
So we're going into uncharted territory.
We are.
With that same crazy energy and humor
of course.
That we all know and love. But the voice cast is still a mystery.
Still a mystery.
I'll have to wait and see on that one.
Fingers crossed.
But overall, this revival just shows
it does
how much passion there is from both the fans and Studio Trigger.
You know, they're really committed to this series.
And what's really cool is this move to original content.
It's a bold move.
It is like, it's a huge creative opportunity.
It is.
But it's also a challenge.
How so?
Well, they have to stay true.
Right.
To what made the original so great.
That's the key.
Exactly. And that brings us to our final thought.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so think about this.
Okay, I'm thinking.
The manga's finished.
Right. Yeah.
And the team's talking about like 10 seasons
and
a movie.
Wow.
So what kind of crazy direction?
Yeah.
Do you think New Panty and Stocking will go in?
I don't know.
Like, how do they keep that original spirit while also exploring these new storylines?
It's a tough balance.
It is.
It'll be interesting to see how they do it.
It will, for sure.
I'm excited to find out.
Me too.